Question in the chat. Have some of your students started off sounding open to your ideas but slip back into old patterns when they go through a rough stretch? How do we as students get through that? Yeah, it happens, and I think that it's a combination of, well, there's luck factor to it because it's if you go through a run bad, you're naturally more susceptible to regression and self-doubt. The degree to which a student intensifies his training, and I mean that in terms of like off the time with me, like in times where we're not working together directly, the degree to which he goes back through the hand history reviews, does the 30-second training exercises like you guys saw in my latest run at once video, like does that stuff for himself, records him just talking. Like this is how I did it before I had anybody teaching me like this independent system. Was I would just sit down on my headphones and go through a hand history review like this of say 10 hands that I had marked, and record it 3 different times and then synthesize the best parts of my analysis in every one, and try to make like a hyper analysis out of that and then use that the next time to like train and integrate. So I think a lot of it is repetition. If you're asking how do you get out of the pattern of slipping back to regression, well, you have to see the benefit in analyzing in the new way that you've learned. Once you honestly see more benefit in using analysis that's less theory oriented and more focused on data points for exploits, I think that there's a shift there that happens where there's no going back because you see that it's actually more intelligent to do it this way because you have more vision over the environment when you do it this way. The way that you do it when you're using data points is more thoroughly incentivized by what's actually going on in reality. And don't get me wrong, when I say we're moving away from a theory-oriented approach, I don't mean that we're just dumping theory altogether and not looking at it anymore. It's quite the contrary. We're using the understanding of different equilibrium that we have to basically hone our exploits in a way that's more accurate, to basically comply with the incentives of the environment. Guys think that like you're either theory oriented or you're a field player. Well, that's not true. The guys who have the deeper understanding of theory are the guys that are actually able to calibrate on the fly and exploit when they realize that a player in the pool is on either side of the equilibrium. So theory is very much connected to exploits, and all we really need to do to see that is to look at what the solver actually does in terms of its functionality. It is a maximally exploitative bot that continues to get on either side of the iteration in the most maximally exploitative sense, thus forcing the entire model toward equilibrium.